I hope we are all well on this fine and not a weirdly misty Monday morning. It's just proper weirdly foggy here. Let me stick some music on myself. You don't get to hear it, you don't deserve it. And today we are going to be carrying on with this. Those who missed it last time, I am developing I'll say a Rust style, as I keep pointing out, I've not played Rust, so a No Man's Sky style is closer, though I think the No Man's Sky style one is exactly the same as the Rust one, but I don't know. So I should be carrying on with this. Same thing, I'm still trying to recover from a horrendous illness, so I doubt I'll be streaming the whole day, but just want to show people progress, as you do. And top of that, there's something else, but quite frankly, I've forgotten it. So we'll just go. Ah, yes, Microsoft have got back to me about the GNOME game and gone, ooh, well, I might actually have to reply with, you know, it's been a month, right? They tagged wrong. Yeah, so ceilings probably need to have a different offset because you'll tend to build those from below, not above. Hey, Pete. I'm still not quite sure I haven't oversimplified this. It's possible. So one of the things I was thinking of is possibly on a collision I then need to stripe the hits back. Base. I might actually plonk this into the main world in a minute. Actually, let's do that now, because what I've got here currently, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not doing it, I'll say, properly, in the sense it's not the right area or level or anything. So that's a prefab. And I can go to the visual demo. Unity. Oh, fuck's sake, Todd. You can't. Todd's just like made shit. I'm tempted to just delete it all and tell him to do it again, because the problem is that it never gets cleaned up. So we've just got huge amounts of stuff, but it's not organised. It's just in the root. And it always just ends up being a nightmare later on when you don't do this from the start. Oh, wow. It's quite important to try and keep the roots of the Unity scene as less than a page. Now, I mean, we've just got stuff just called like RAM spline and then stuff called occlusion. But Todd hasn't put his stuff into the occlusion block. Okay, that's fine. Okay, for test. slightly tidier. The problem is we had this on previous projects. Like, it's like, oh, I'll get to it. It's fine. It's fine. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. It's fine. I'll get to it. It's fine. Oh, dear God, there's so much stuff here. I can't possibly even think about it. We also need to be careful about stuff like that. So I assume we're just in the prefab. Oh, God, that's really bad. Oh. Oh, right. Well, that's not even usable. How annoying. I am going to need some sort of intelligent particle system as well. Because the way Unity works is it will just put particles everywhere in the world. So I will need a system to say... Yeah, that's got fucked up again. I will need a system to say, here is a particle system, and if we're near it, to consider starting it off or not. It boggles my mind Unity doesn't have this sort of thing. Because it really should. And that's our original play area, so we've actually extended that. How are you doing anyway, Peter? How's life down under? Right, so the floor is that, so that means that these need to go. I have no idea what the I have no idea what's going on with this, to be quite frank. Though I noticed if I'm not careful, I can accidentally drag the landscape around, so that's not good. Yes, this is our early access release. Is planned for this. It's a bit warm here too. It's going to be 17 degrees today, and 17 degrees tomorrow. So yeah, that's crazy. I line that up right. Yeah, so what I'm doing with that will become invisible. Doink. But that means the player can't actually leave. Okay, so I did put down, by the way, let me look at the schedule. I do have a schedule. Go me. Yeah, base building, first pass 4 weeks. I've currently spent 1 day on it. It's pretty good. So I'm like, oh, hey, I'm nearly done. But I'm like, I've still got 27 days. Theoretically, though, assuming I have... Why is the camera so weirdly... Wait. What's going on? Ah? Left and right are now making me sidestep left and... Is the camera not centered on the exploration prefab? Trying to work out what the hell's going on there. Morning, nobody. Epic 4, 3, 2, 1. That seems fine. But yeah, being a month ahead of schedule is not a bad state of affairs. Like, what the hell's that? What's going on there? Like now, okay, now, hold on. When it's maximized. Yes, it is. It's detached from the head. You what, mate? Base prefab doesn't have... Let me disable the base prefab. I'm assuming the base prefab is doing something naughty. Pete, you're not... How warm is a bit warm? Like 17 degrees here, which is immensely unseasonable. That seems fine, all apart from the slightly... Slightly odd fog, but that's fine. At least we've got fog. I'll get to it. So I enable the base prefab. Yeah. It's just... But, okay, well, that's fine. That needs to be fixed. Like, I don't change the camera's position, I just set it. Apart from if I press these two buttons here. Yeah. I'd like to work in this scene, not the other scene, if I can. I think I've got the primary stuff working. It's not bad though. Although I'm really bemused on the concept of the player falling through the floor. Like, that's just not how PhysX's mesh does work. Anyway, so I press on to go to base build mode. No, that doesn't work. Great. Oh, I haven't enabled it yet. That'd be why. That's nice. That's a lovely temp, and that's about as hot as it ever gets over here. And like above 32, and people start dying. Not exaggerating. People literally start dying. Like old people, not like, you know, just in the street, but like old people. That's the kind of the limit over here. Because our houses are not designed like yours. Our houses are designed with a lot of insulation. As I said, I scheduled a month for this, so getting what I've done here, I've done it in less than a day. That's pretty good going. It's alright, because I run Mouse Without Borders, so I have effectively 3 keyboards and 3 mice and 3 screens and 3 computers that all kind of collapsed into one. Sometimes I accidentally put the keyboard down upside down. I can only build walls at this time of day. Not going to worry about that for the moment. Actually, let's make the space a bit bigger. But yeah, it's working quite nicely with the playable characters stuff, which is nice. Unfortunately, I think this will probably take me about 3 days, and then another very large amount of time for idiot proofing. I wonder what's going on there. It's one of those, again, I don't know how good Rust's stuff is. I just know how good No Man's Skies is. But I'm pretty sure they didn't have one guy with a week just to write it in. And even their stuff, it does screw up a bit. So I know what I want to make. I'm not sure why I'm bouncing. I think the floor might not be tagged as terrain, so I can't walk on that. Maybe. Sorry, excuse me. I had to do some sneezing there. I don't invite people along to my sneezing. It's a private and special moment between me and my was it my lymphic system? I don't know what does sneezing. I'll say lymphic. It sounds cool, but I don't think it is. Right, so what I want to do, build a base like so. And then what I want is yeah, now I don't seem to be able to build a second wall yet, because again, I'm going to need a ray catcher. Just not surprising me. Okay, I think that ray catcher is actually working then. But I should now be able to quit and come back in, and it, quote unquote, should just work. So game manager, base prefab. Yeah, someone said they couldn't do it, and then Bakaniko said, who could not do what? And then you said, do what? And I said, it. Why is that not colliding? So this is the ray catcher, so the ray should catch onto that. So I'm going to have to go back into the test scene. And that remember to flip those on. So that's not going to maximize. I'll probably have to move the so the base will spawn wherever the base is in the main world. So I need to move that and the camera over here somewhere. That's not too far off. And that. This wants to go up to, so I might get this just into place. So hopefully we'll get a lot more interesting later on when Keemstar is actually pushing it and when there's more to see. Like, as for FortressCraft, the early stages are quite boring and quite tedious to watch and to program, whereas later, you know, because I'm just going to be, I think the most exciting thing we're going to get today is a slightly more reliable base build system. I need to actually work out my schedule because I've got to go to the opticians and pop into town. But the weather's nice, so oh no, I'll have to get on my motorbike. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so when I'm in base build mode, I'm trying to build a. Whoa. So that shouldn't have the flaps on. Ah, I bet you I haven't assigned it to the prefabs parent. Let's check. Base ceiling. Base component. Main collision should be that. That will probably do it. Or yeah, that's what I want. So that means that I can now hopefully attach to. No, I can't. Might be able to from above. But that's not really very. That's not really very helpful. Part of it is to make sure I give the player options even if they're the wrong ones, because obviously the player gets to decide when to click. Oh, does the winglet have to be under? I still think I might do what I said. If I hit a winglet, so we've got sort of real collision, and then we have extra collision, because when you're attaching there, it's not likely you'll actually look at this facet. I mean, you might, but you probably won't. How tall is that? It's 0.25. That might do it. And hopefully, as I said, this should all port back straight to FortressCraft. So here, I think what's happening, I think it's hitting just fine. Where am I? I'm here. I'm looking. Probably, I think I'm heading there, but I'm not finding anything to lock to. What I'm suggesting is when it hits the tester, so we've got the nice. How did I reach level 92? Well, don't forget, when I stream, I just constantly earn XP. So I mean, I'll just stream for like 24 hours on a go. Let me actually look at what mine is. I haven't logged on to it in ages, so. No, I'm 82 on that one. And on this one I'm... Wait. Why does it still say project games in the top left? Oh, because that's who I'm signed in as, isn't it? Yeah. I've actually got it on a different computer. Why has it got a picture of AmpuTea? Oh, I don't even know. Yeah, I'm level 92 on my DJX account and level 80 on my Project Games account. However, this one's got way more sparks to spend. But yeah, I don't know what to reply back to Mixer. Because I emailed them. Hey, can I be a partner? And they replied with... We're experiencing a minor delay in the review process. This can happen when there's an increase in volume or when a channel might need more consideration due to the unique nature of the review. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, no problem. That's cool. And I replied back with, just let me know. And then 2 weeks later, I went, any news? And then I got a response. Hello. Due to the nature of the content your channel provides, the review period takes a bit longer. I apologise for the lack of follow-up. The channel is still being reviewed by the team to determine something we can support the partnership program. I will check with the team and send you an update in the next couple of days. Okay. And then I just got the generic, we're experiencing a minor update in the review process. But they haven't asked me any questions, which is really odd. I was expect by this point they would say, hey, Adam, can we chat about how you're monetizing, when you'll be streaming, what you expect from us, all that sort of stuff. What I've actually got is a generic copy-pasted email. I don't want to respond with, okay, please keep me posted. And say I'm more than happy to have a chat and talk to you about sort of our plans for it. I might just do something like that, so okay. Thanks for the update. If I can do anything to push this along, it's been quite a number of weeks since I applied, then please let me know. I'm happy to... So I'm happy to have a Skype call with you about how we're happy running on, as well as get any advice from you on how we should proceed. Please note that I haven't been running the channel whilst the review process is going on. The game is in a playable and popular state. And as I don't earn anything from spends and I can't get subscribers, it's just waiting for you guys. Thanks. That's not what I said. That's better. If you need me to support the channel and run the game so you can have a look at it in real time, just let me know. Exclamation mark. But yeah, I just don't want it to sort of sit there. I've been sort of pushing it, going, Can you just, even if it's an email, like I understand it's gone through something and it's probably sitting in somebody's inbox, but it doesn't take 3 weeks to review it. Or this is a really complicated thing, in which case I would be very happy for them to keep me informed. Okay, so that's that. That's the email room. I'm still not sure what to do about here. So what I'm considering is firing the ray, and then if the ray hits, testing if it's a valid position, and if it's not a valid position, wind the object closer to the player. So I think the problem is that the ray catcher is not quite in the right place, but I think the correct place for the ray catcher is in a really stupid position, to the point where it's going to screw up other things. Base it. Wow, the ceiling is quite similar to the floor. Yeah, so what's happening there? Is it? I can't even tell if that's actually hitting. I think so. So I think the magenta point shows where it's hitting. But that's no good. I mean, that is not a useful spot for it to hit onto. I hope I do too. It's just communication is what I want. I'm not expecting to go, right, you're fine, it's all done, but just, you know, we haven't really done this, and here are some questions. Is it just that these seem to have much taller collision objects? I'm just not doing anything for a sec. I don't want to hide. I want to check. Because the idea is that you kind of put it very vaguely close, and then you've got these whacking great snap boxes. Where on earth am I? No, let's just do it in open files for once. All open documents. So yeah, it hits array, puts the object there, hopes it's close enough. So it does this sort of quite a funky little iterative approach. But as you can see, it's not perfect. Now, why is that not hitting, you say? Now, it should be hitting because that should have its... Oh, is that... Have I done a derp? Oh, that's the outside. Okay. If I just put it onto... See, I think what I might need to... I might be a little bit smarter. I think what I need to do is when I hit something, shove... Instead of going, right, that's where we put it, we shove it backwards along its normal. And I think that will resolve that. As I said, I've got a month to get this to the early access quality. I'm not panicking. I feel panicky. I feel like, I need to get working today, but that's not... think that's right. So up's no good. So that should show me an impact and then back. Perhaps we're much more likely to be in the right position. No, a subscriber's like a subscriber on Twitch, so it's, I don't know how much it is. We kind of expect that subscribers will make us more money than Sparks, but we don't know. It's one of those sort of, dear Mixer, as soon as you can tell us. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I've got very little information, and I'd like to... as a developer, I'm kind of used to just being able to chat to people, I'll say in charge, but just being able to chat people who are, like the people who make this stuff, just going, can you just tell me how this works? Like, talk to me. Like, as opposed to when you're a customer, there's a lot of customers, but there's not generally very many developers. So as a rule, with a developer, you get to one-to-one relation because there's not very many of us. So I'm like, please, can I get out of your automated email system and into talking to a person, please? Oh, that's working much better. Except, ironically... Right, where's my magenta impact? That's actually working really well. Let's say if I'm really low... Actually, no, that's working great. So you've noticed it's no longer sitting inside it. Okay, let's turn off... So all of that extraneous stuff, let's turn that back off. It just gets really hard to see what's going on. So what will happen is when the target's valid, the glow one will disappear. So it will say use snaps. It's more obvious. Okay. Override. Apply all. Oh, I need to remove that line of test code to base build manager. That's actually not too bad vert-wise. 2.5 million, 3 million. That's it's when you start getting above 10 million. Okay, and build ceiling. But I can only build ceiling at some of day. Okay, so much better. Don't know why I'm doing that. That's a different problem. Okay, now I want to build a second level of walls, which I've not tried doing, and I don't actually know if it will let me. It will if you're above. I don't think it will let you from here. That's it. It's not finding anything to latch onto. Now, if I had a ramp, which I don't, I suspect I could do it. Now, these bushes are perhaps a little tall. But what we don't have is any support. For example, if it's halfway inside a wall, going, that's not valid. So if I'm actually... Yeah, I need to implement a slope, don't I? Well, I'm going to go get some more coffee. I think I'm out of milk, though, which might mean I'm about to be in for the worst coffee ever. I can't stand coffee without milk. Because I'm a wuss. So let me go get some coffee. And then I'll probably need to implement a ramp. I don't mind that you can't build walls up in the air. Because that's kind of dumb anyway. I'm happy that you have to build a second floor and then put walls on. So yeah, back in a mo. Watch the sun rise and set. Chip. Somewhere. Right. So I can implement a slope. That'll be fun, but hey, we can do it. Now, this is where I need to sort of have a mild ponder, because I've only played 2 games at all that have done this sort of stuff. And No Man's Sky tended to favour like weird ass ladders rather than slopes, and the other one had like half-size double sharp things. So, but we need slope. We do. I mean that's understandable. I'm just not really 100% on how these will be. don't know. So this is going to have a... Ooh, this is going to be actually an interesting challenge. I only need to get it roughly right, though. Andy will be responsible for getting it perfectly right later on. Because Andy is the one who will be modelling the actual final pieces. I'm just kit bashing because that's what Andy likes. He loves when I kit bash some stuff for him. So that's what we all do. He doesn't really bother, that's sarcasm. He sighs when he sees what I've done. He's like, oh, what do you want me to do? We're kind of potentially hoping we can find an asset pack that covers this, because it's just going to be some sort of weird-ass wooden hut. I mean, that's all it will actually be. Base 1x1. There'll be some maths involved in this one. I think it's 1.3. I don't know. Right. So what's that? See if he's sulking because he's not been fed as much as he wants. Silly cat. So that, you see, needs to fit into that perfectly. I think it's going to be 1.3. Or... No, it can't be just 2. That's mental. Is that right? That's the right width. No, that's not right there. So if I scale that up till that, oopsie. Now this is the thing. That's going to be a hell of a slope. So should I be designing this as a 2x1 meter thing? Seafy Bubby, what do you want? Do you want me to give you some medicine? Would you like some? He likes his medicine. Is that what you'd like? Why don't you go sleep for a bit and I'll feed you in an hour or so. How about that? Yeah, sounds like I have to make deals with my cat. It's one of those times. Yeah, we had some people over the weekend, and so Cephas has yet again, for the second weekend running, been the centre of attention of many people giving treats and all sorts of things. So I think this is going to be 22.5. And so I think this is going to be here. Otherwise, it's just going to be just the most ridiculous slope. And the problem is, so that kind of matches up there, doesn't there. So the top of it needs to match. So we'll skip. We won't care how thick it is. We'll just care about the that. Now, I think, you see, it should be 2. Not that way. That way's fine. I think it should be 2.6, but that is not the case. Something like 1 over the square root of pi. No, I can't remember. I also think it's going to be some... So that's pretty close, but I do notice that it's not equidistant, which is a bit confusing. So you look how much it's... that's pretty much perfect at that side, but at that side, it's sticking out that way. Because it's not infinitely thin, that's why. So I need to care about the top. Yeah, because it offsets. Or it might not matter because that will actually be embedded. So let me change that color to, I don't know. That'll do for the moment. I've been a little bit loath to put any texturing on this. I don't want anyone to think this is anything other than a like a work in progress thing. I don't want anyone to go, oh, it doesn't look very good. So I've already had a bunch of people saying, oh, you know, is it like Minecraft because I've got blocky hands? It just aggravates me. So in this case, that is slightly out. I wonder what the maths is. So essentially, I would like something that goes along by 2 and up by... It's either 1 or 0.1. And then I should be able to work it out from that. Don't think it's going to be 1. 0.75 possibly. No, it's not that either. How? So if I just align that corner there, so it's properly snapped. Oh, let's hide that too. Actually, that's going anyway, so that attaches to there. And that means that that needs to attach to there. And then the question is, how tall does it need to be in order to snap exactly? And the answer is some 0.85? Why would it be 0.85? It's slightly less than that, but 0.85 is probably okay. So that means we've got 2 and 0.85, so I can do half of that anyway, which is 4. So, Pythagoras, the length, which is the scale of... Actually, it seems to be lining up, though. Yeah, it's lining up, but it's in the wrong place. If I move that to there, which it should be, you can see it doesn't quite... I'm wondering if I'm going about this backwards. So if I want this to be the height of a wall, so walls are 2, so maybe that needs to be 2. And then if something goes along 2 and up by, I think that's just 33. I think. Should I point out I failed maths at school. Not that they think they teach you this stuff. That's not right. But if you're going along by 2 and up by 1, then the ratio is 2 to 1. And 45 is 1 to 1. It's 22.5, which is what I had. That's not right either. Like, it looks like it might be 28 degrees, so that doesn't make any sense. Oops. It's not 29. It's not 28 either. Oh, it is 28. So it's 28 degrees. Well, it's not quite 28 degrees, but it's close enough, 28 degrees. And just to be clear, that's too big. That's too big. Like, too big. So that's now 4 meters long and 2 meters wide. That should be good, I think. So none of you are just sort of maths geniuses and can tell me exactly what it is I'm doing wrong. I'm happy to be told what I'm doing wrong, by the way. I'm always happy to be told what I'm doing wrong. I'm just used to it, actually. That's probably close to the truth. I think I'm just about there, though. Excuse me, sorry, I'm having a... I've muted the mic, I'm having a mild coughing fit. That seems to happen in my life a lot these days. I think I'm going to go on the basis that is right. But essentially it needs to have wall collision and floor collision. What I'll probably do though is replace that with... This would be wood house placeholder. Because I don't want... One of the problems with FortressCraft when we first shipped it is we first showed screenshots in an extremely early state. And people would show that and basically make out that was the game. So I don't want anyone to... Well, they can think that's the case all they like, but that's not... Wow, that does not have a normal map. Astounding. Texture type, normal map, create from grayscale, Please don't look too rubbish. Oh. Surprising what you can get out of normal maps. Like grayscale as not. As long as it's kind of doing something, that's usually just fine. But hopefully that's okay, if I just man, yeah, I can't tile the emission map, which is annoying. And that just suddenly gets really dark. And if I do placeholder alpha and then do alpha, oh, it is from transparency. Yeah, let's try that. Just out of curiosity. Oh. I am surprised, but and saddened. Oh well. I kind of look forward to actually being able to play this. I think it should be quite, well, not necessarily a fun game. I'm not, how can I describe this without making it sound shit? I'm not aiming for a fun game. I would describe Pac-Man as fun. You know, you've got moment-to-moment challenges, and that's, you know, that's a very different kettle of fish to what I'm aiming for, which is I want something to be an atmospheric game that is nice to be around, nice to be in, or horrible to be in, depending on how we go. And the idea is that it is an atmospheric experience where it's a memorable world. So I played a survival-ish, not very, game called Graveyard Keeper, and it's awful. It's a thoroughly awful game in a great deal of ways. But the world's very nice, and I like to revisit the world more than I'd like to revisit the game. I'm kind of hoping they actually patch the game to become better. I have seen no current evidence of said. Maybe they will. I don't know. And I want that sort of feeling. Like, even if you're not playing the game, I kind of want you to sit in your cabin, watch some birds in the distance, watch the sunset from wherever it is you've built your base. That's kind of my goal. One of the goals. Now, this is the top lock coal. That's going to go here. And you can't actually attach the top of any of the rest of it, can you? In fact, I'm not even that sure you can there. But hopefully my system is nicely agnostic and does not care for any of your shenanigans. I think that's right. Is it right? I don't know. There are only a few ways to find out. One of them is just to build it and see where it breaks. Okay, so in the base build manager, where are my cheat codes? And the idea will be, down the line, that these won't be... Oh, well, that's not right. Huh? Why have I got loads of slips? That's not possible. Well, it is. What did I do wrong? All right. But no, there won't be any music. Definitely not. Keemstar was talking about having... now in this case, I'm going to do support a rotation. Because at this point now, there is a very big difference between one direction and the other. But... clicky fucking bonk. Okay, let's... Yeah, so Keemstar was talking about, radio stations and stuff, and I'm like, this is fine, but we just need to get licenses for it, and that is often far more effort than it's actually worth. It's like with a lot of ideas, there's a subtle difference between a really good idea, which is fine, good ideas are great, and a good idea I can actually do. Like, so, I mean, I can do anything. That's fine. I can do literally anything. But it doesn't mean I can do anything now. Doesn't mean I can do anything in a hurry. And that's the problem with a lot of things. It's certainly with Keemstar, he does have big ideas, but that doesn't mean that I can actually achieve these big ideas. Or rather, I can't achieve those big ideas in anything less than, 20 years of work or something. And therein lies the big problem with writing computer games. It's very rarely how many ideas you've got, it's how much time you've got. I have a funny feeling I'm the... Oh, yeah, I forgot to disable the line of code that I disable on this thing. As I said, I'm maybe just run a quick occlusion pass because I suspect Todd probably hasn't. And that could definitely aid the performances. But yeah, definitely no music. Unless it's like crafted records or something like that. I don't want like concert music. I say I want to be atmospheric like you're there. That's the plan, anyway. Okay, that didn't take very long. Awesome. Actually, let me just check. Let me check the occlusion is set up correctly there. These are definitely marked as static colliders. Good. We're not using that. There's a very nice mossy. I'm just going to try something because these should not be clean rocks. These should definitely be mossy rocks. So we do have some quite nice mossy rocks. So if I just work out where they are a sec, because I've got a very nice triplanar shader. It's really nice. So that uses what shader? Oh wow, that's a bloody hell, that is a complicated shader, that is. Okay, so I do rock 05 moss triplanar. And then I can delete that, and then I can assign a very obviously incorrect one to that. But the cool thing is the top bit's right. So that means that I should be able to go to here and pop across to that, which is rock detail 2. Rock detail 2 and rock 5, that's fine. That's better. And then the detail mask is rock detail 2. Oh, detail. And the normal map. That does not seem to be doing. Ugh. Yes, we need the detail map. Why is that? Okay, yeah. So that was on these ones. They're at a scale of 10. No, not that one. I can't. Does this need to be white? Or black? Or literally anything? Right, that doesn't do any. That doesn't do anything. So I've got a detail mask, but I can select it to 0. But I don't know if 0 means all or 0 means none. Right, so there's the normal map showing up. Ah, right, hold on, there we go. Wow, that looks very, very, very different. Ah, let me keep lighting on. Oh. Yeah, we should have left lighting on before. AOHS. So if anything, it just kind of looks. That will do for the moment. Basically, this is a rock that also inherently has sort of a, well, currently just a detached. But if I rotate the rock, this is the clever part, because it's triplanar mapped. So if I duplicate the rock and bring it up, this is the clever part. Because it's triplanar mapped, it's actually using the the normal. So you can see the moss appears on it on the top. The moss always appears on the top. This means you can use the same rock in a load of different ways and it just looks different every time. It's a really nice trick. And I'm glad I've got a shade to do it. I'm afraid, I think the shader might be a little bit OTT. That will probably be okay though. And then it gets really complicated with how much snow there is. Oh, yeah, snow is in the grass, so. So the idea here is that you can modulate it. So as it snows, pretend that's white, as it snows, the snow covers it. I'll leave that there because that does give Todd a nice second shade. I just wouldn't use this as the top. I wouldn't call that moss in the slightest. That's more mossy. Possibly that one. But I'll leave that for Todd to sort of fiddle with, because Todd is he's very good at telling me that other people's textures are shit. He does it a lot. You know, that looks shit. And I'm like, well, sometimes I usually agree, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's just a bit of wood. What would you do? How would you fix that? So this is going to be a project where the shoe is on the other foot. So I get to say to Todd, that looks shit. And he'll be like, yeah, but it's just wood. I'm like, well, that's not my problem, is it, Todd? You know, that's your problem. You need to make it look good. I mean, stuff like this, I mean, that looks terrible. It's not done, but it's stuff like that that we will pick up and go, you know, we need to work out a way to fix these issues. And we will. We always do. We always do a good job. I mean, I just had someone randomly tweet me going, "Wow, Adapter is really good. I really like it. It looks really, really, really lovely." And plays well. And I want to know more about the story because it's actually quite a good story in Adapter, which is unusual for me. I was saying, oh yeah, slopes. Got distracted by the fact the rocks weren't mossy. But yeah, so like this here, that's not what I've designed. That is a 45-degree slope. Actually, I'm not sure I'm going to cross paths with Todd today because I'm trying to work out what I'm going to do. I've got errands to run and stuff that I need to do that's away from my computer, but I haven't worked out when I'm going to do this yet. That's so weird. The question is, can I build my base here? Oh, that's not good. No. Actually, the goal was to build more walls, wasn't it, anyway? Oopsie. There's no way to delete stuff yet, which is also a bit of a nightmare. Yes, that's actually clipping on the wrong way. And it's too dark to see, and this is just all going horribly wrong. So what's this bouncing shit about? I have no idea what that is. There's no code to do anything. It just sits on top of stuff. I have to say, that shot that actually looks alright. That's actually quite a nice shot there, all apart from the red. In fact, there's nothing on the player. Like, the player just doesn't have any code that will make it do that. It's hitting something called base build collision, I guess. So is it some code I've written? Let's have a... So local player move? No. Player look? No. Player survival? No. Player interact? No. Discipline networking? No. So it's nothing specifically that I've written. And if I put like the drag up, maybe not quite that much. Okay, it's hitting it. It's like it's hitting it and then jumping up, but I don't... Okay, so is it the base in any sort of way? I mean, it's easy when it's hitting these things here. So if I actually set these to default collision, no, that's not changing it. They're not bouncy. I have to say with the colliders on those. Why would it be doing that? Ah, wait, hold on. But there's no difference. I've reset them. But it's not those, is it? No. Let me see if there's any... There's quite a lot of collision in there. And it might be that... No, these ones should... No, those are all triggers. It does seem to be this. That can't be that. That's not even active. Ah, wait, hold on. Is it that that is... No, that's staying inactive. Darn. So I flip that off, it's fine. Flip it back on, it's fine again until I start touching it. It's as if something inside this object here is getting flipped off and on. Is it? don't think so. Like those side lock collision or triggers. The player is on layer default, which is probably a bit stupid. So I put the player on the player collision level. Sure, why not? And then I say project settings, physics, and I got this dialog box of nightmare. The player should not collide with those two. And ta-da! I don't know why it's breaking, but that does seem to be fixing it. The goal is to make the base building slightly better. Not done, but slightly better. I'm doing, well, I'll say daily builds. I'm doing irregular builds for people. There are a few people who've got access to it now. Excuse me. Project settings, player should not collide with those because it just doesn't make any sense. Gonna hide the arms a sec. I'm continually trying to get sort of half decent screenshots so we can have something on the store like soon, like today, you know, this week, and then we can just update those as the game improves. It means we can show something at any point. Someone goes, "Can I have a look at the game?" I can immediately go, "Oh bugger, I'm in the base building mode." See, that's nice. For example. And it all works networks. That's all done. Well done. It's a continuing and ongoing process to ensure it stays. That's a nice picture too. But I would like Todd to be able to populate the store page, preferably today, with placeholder shots. Nighttime is not right. Sunset is also a bit... It doesn't last very long. Obviously, it's sunset. Where's the sun? Where is the sun? Do, 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 do. I think I can get a good shot with the... Yeah, see, that there is just a bit ass. That thing. Actually, to be honest, I think that might not even be standard. Not as in, like, weird, but as in standard shader, which is a physically based model, physically based render thing. I know these are standard. It's not very good. Oh. I think the smoothing angle's wrong on this, you know? What do you mean, I hear you ask? Well, yeah, smoothing angle's a pile of bollocks. I don't understand how you can get this wrong. It's not rocket science. So that's broken smoothing angle. Look, now it's not got weird glowy stuff. I can describe it. I can't. I'm not going to try. It also makes sad to me when you've got games and the people are just never bothered with the detail map. So that's how it looks, and you can see it's quite low resolution. It's not very good. It's not very hard to pop on just a dirt map, just a noise map usually will do. Some we'll say like that, and then you just scale it up. Not like that. That looks horrible. But the idea is that you give it a... I don't have a grunge map. Grab it out of FortressCraft. 3 survival, assets, textures. But stuff like that. I see a lot of games and they just don't... They don't fix the things that really just pain me. If you've got a high detail texture, then for the love of God, use it. If you don't have a high detail texture, then for the love of God, please, please, please stick a detail map on it. It's a little slower. I'll say it is a little slower, but these days computers are very fast, so it's kind of like, please do it. It's quite dark though, that one. But you can see this, it means when you get your face really close, there's just unlimited detail. Just a bit confused why it's so dark. And annoyingly, I can't do anything about that. I wonder if I can... I don't know if paint will do it. Product alert. What? Why? Effects. Light wheel. That's quite nice. Can you even do it in this? I think that's just how it's lit. I don't... Yeah, I might have to get paint.net or something. But what I can do... It's just on a different computer. So this should be much lighter. Actually, I think I might be able to do it with... Photo viewer. Doesn't this have a... Edit and create. Edit, crop, add filters. Yep. All I, you know, that's a bit horrible. There we go. That's all I wanted. I've been chatting about this with Todd. There's no art package out there that does what I want it to do. I don't have very complex requirements for an art package, but I do have a very unusual and specific set of requirements for an art package. And it kind of saddens me that there isn't an art package designed for writing games with. I used to have some very good ones in the past. And HitShot Pro was excellent at this. But modern art packages, they're all designed towards photo touch-up. And that's very rarely what you want. Oh, bugger, I did the wrong one. Okay. There we go. I don't want it to be light. I want it to be a medium colour. And that lets me have detail no matter what. Now, it's not as much as I like. Again, Todd will do it properly later on. Create from grayscale. Smooth. But this just looks so awful. It offends my eye. That's over the top. That means now so it doesn't look too pixely. It's not perfect by any means, but it means it doesn't look low quality or overly low quality. See, without that effect, if I put that to 0, so that's how it did look, and that's what it does look. See, it's not perfect, but it means that you don't have these low quality textures just making me sad. Again, Todd will have to go over these. So once more, I have got distracted from slopes. I was trying to get some screenshots, you see. I think that's really nice. I think it looks really... rock. I think that's really good. But like this shack just doesn't look very good. So I got the issue that it's a bit hard to get a nice screenshot with the shack in it because it's just not a very nice looking shack. But even though it's not nice looking, is it correct? Like, should that be... if I go back to sunrise, I can't even see the shack from down here, which is probably good for performance, but not good for screenshots. And then you can see where we haven't worked on it, it looks terrible. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. So, have I fixed this? Yes. Good. Not entirely. It doesn't appear I can easily attach walls to walls. So that's annoying. But ceiling to ceiling, that's good. I guess it's back to the test bed then. Now, there's no networking on the base yet, so you'll be able to play it, you'll be able to make a base, but for the time being, you'll just get a completely separate base and nobody else will be able to see it. So that's not planned for a while. I'm just getting the base building stuff sorted. One step at a time. I guess why isn't it? Right. God, you see, that's the problem. It gets very complicated. I need to turn on the debug malarkey too. So what? Oh, that's interesting. Now this is now a question of if I need a top ray catcher, which I probably do. And that's fine. Again, I've played No Man's Sky, and you've got exactly the same kind of, God damn it, where do I have to click to build the base? So I'm fine if it's a bit wobbly. Though I've just realised these are floors, not ceilings, so that's possibly a bit dumb. But that's my problem as a player. So is it this works on? Nope. Does it work on any of these? No. So I need a ray catcher on the walls. I realise as the programmer I should sound more confident, but I don't actually know quite a lot of the time. So I'm sorry that you're staring at the cat, the cat's box. He's just asleep on a beanbag by my feet. I would rearrange the camera, but you probably should look at my feet, which nobody wants to see. I don't think any ladies ever have a foot fetish, because feet are not the nice part of me. So yeah, I'm thinking about some above ray catchers. I think that will work. And above. Children approval cannot be deleted. What? Alright, fine, I'll just delete it then. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry, the concept of Unity saying you can't do it from that dialog box, you have to go to this dialog box to do it, confuses me more than a little. Even more so that it didn't apply the changes. So it's not letting me do that, but I have to do this. But that actually appears to already be correct. So then I just have to drag. Why can I do it in this dialog box, but not the other one? I've just done exactly the same thing. Oh, hold on. So I'm just dealing something in a different screen a sec. I need to translate it from Dutch to English. Great. Detect language, and it went English? No. And then translate to German? No. Something I always try and say to people if you're foreign and you're speaking to someone who speaks a different language to you, overly say what you're saying. Use clear, non-colloquial English. And I find this a lot. French is usually was pretty good to translate because they were very little slang in French. It's a very formal language, but unfortunately, that is no longer the case. That's... Oh, I need to reassign the ray catcher. Oh man, he's still talking Dutch at me. it is business related. So I said part of what I've been trying to do this year is to sort of I continue to allow people to see, you know, all the crap that I actually have to deal with. It's not just I'm going to write code. You know, I have to deal with people contacting me and contacting Mixer. You know, all these sort of like weird and wonderful behaviours. Oh God. He said something that started with "hoi," which is hello, I think, in Dutch. I can sum up this entire discussion very quickly. Oh, I hear you want money to do stuff. Yes. Oh, never mind then. That will almost certainly be this conversation. Yeah, now this has got the problem that's hitting the ray catcher, then it's pushing it back, but it's pushing it back so... Oh, man.
I'm reminding you.
Huh? Yeah, I know that. Shut up. Thank you, Alexa.
I'm reminding you. Give me optician.
Alexa, thank you. Shut up. Someone just said, I'm on this high, this you do not use till 20 to 20 DIV per second. It doesn't make any difference, apart from the fact the loading's very slow. Well, that'd be a difference then. Always saddened me the projector games never really did what it wanted. It was just so... I so much enjoy writing projector games, and I really hope the Gnome game takes off, because that is, to a great degree, the same sort of thing. And that should hopefully, very hopefully, allow me to do the cool thing. So what you do is you, Subscriber, you... how do I put it into words? I'll be able to watch people play the game for an hour or however long. And then at the end of that, I'll be able to update the game and then make an immediate second build. And I will just be able to repeat that forever, which would be amazing, because that means that there's no gap between seeing an issue and immediately fix it, which would be awesome. So, with this, I'm trying to work out how I can do this. Okay, we almost there. So I have a number of solutions. One of the solutions is to do that. It's not ideal. See, that will work, but I think it's going to cause a lot of other issues. I don't think Unity supports any sort of one-way collider. I think this will solve it, but I have a horrible feeling it will break other stuff. Because I'm trying to place a wall, you see. So that's hitting the... Oh, no, that is working. This is the thing. I'm worried I'm going to get into a state where it's working, but it will... it will break in the sense that... describe it. So it'll work, but what will happen... is I'm going to add in all these extra rules until it just ends up in a terrible mess, a terrible sort of set of knots, and it doesn't work anymore. So, for instance, can I even place this? Now I'm just confused. Oh, that's attached to that. I think I might have to delete my base again. I accidentally built a second base because, you know, it doesn't stop me at the moment. And that works good, so that's cool. Well, you know, we're party, therefore. Corpus C, this is actually for a couple of games. This is a generic system. So it should just drop into any game I want it to. Should. I am hoping to get this into FortressCraft's stuff, but I'm not sure that will happen. I'd like to though, because what would happen is the objects would then place voxels. Oh right, there's literally no collider on that. Have a look. Yeah, there's no top collider. See, that might need to be a ray catcher as well. But I'm worried. I'm now beginning in. I am now getting into the realms of more and more and more complex. So, for example, a ray catcher from this direction is just fine, but a ray catcher is not. but it's kind of working. I guess I'll just see. I'll just end up seeing if it just turns into a horrendous nightmare. And there might just be that this does for now, and then I end up changing it all. It might be that this is just my first pass, and then I kind of work out what's wrong. Who knows? Under slope extension catcher. And that needs to go on base building collision, and then we'll see. No, Radix. So the patron is for me rather than for any given project. So I've just basically said to people, if you support me on Patreon, you're supporting all the project, whichever one, and then I'm happy if you support me for one to give you keys for all of them, that's fine. But yeah, it will be the same one. Otherwise, then I need to manage multiple patrons and all sorts of stuff that I really don't have time to do. So yes, but I'm quite happy to give people keys for stuff if they support me. I'm going to stick with the same rule as I do for for FortressCraft Evolved, which is anyone who what the fuck? Where's the middle of right, yeah, because that's not anyone with more than $100 lifetime is the basic rule of thumb. Anyone who currently, yeah, not I did have one person say, hello, I was a patron about a year ago, I never asked for a key, can I have it now? And I'm like, you've missed the point of the patron, dude. It's not so you can pay for stuff, it's an ongoing commitment for you to say, I really like what you do and I want you to continue doing it, not can I please have my key. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, he hadn't been a patron for quite a long time. See, now the wall's floating in the air. Urgh. Again, as long as I can always build it, even if it's slightly awkward. All of the games I've played have been slightly awkward in this. I suspect there isn't a really good solution. Yeah, hopefully Todd's done PacketStorm today, so I might actually do a PacketStorm day tomorrow. Why can't I build this on the inside? All there. So this is what I was worrying about, is I'm worried about making it worse. So here, what it's doing is it's offsetting. If I pause it and turn the gizmos on, you'll see a magenta line, and that magenta line represents it offsetting, but I don't want it to offset in that direction. Oh boy. I think I might have to do what I said. All right, I'm gonna go grab a drink and have a think about that. So, the problem is in this case, from this angle, I don't want to offset the ray. So I now need a way of flagging this up. Hey, in this case, where we've got this collision, the build floor collision, I need a way of flagging that as do not do it. It's not generating mesh, it's just placing prefabs at the minute. I may end up doing a pre-bake. Those instants, so draw calls, not too much. Let me go grab a drink. And I will show you the game that this is currently going in, because it's quite nice, it's getting there. Right, back in a moment. what to call this? Base race step, I guess. So on the floors, if this doesn't work, if I end up tying myself in a horrible knot, then I'm going to go to a slightly different approach where everything must snap to a grid, and then I should be able to guess which grid square is default. Floor. So I was thinking, I need to just add in base race step. Oh, and SCP decided after being fed, he's going to use his box. Yeah. I still haven't quite worked out what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, so I've got to go into town for 2 different things. But I don't know whether to do A, then come back and work, and then do B, go out and do A, and stay A, and then do B afterwards, or I don't know. Okay, so if L hit dot collider not get component, are you ignoring your? Is your bed not as stupid cat? He said that his bed is not as good as the beanbag. I think it's just closer, maybe. Actually, what I just do? If L step not equal to null, and our step size equals L step dot race dot scalar, and then new pos plus equals new normal times LR step size. So this means I can now modulate it to my heart's content. Alright, so as I said, I've got an optician's appointment. The thrills of it. It's just annoying. It's just right in the middle of the day, so it just means I can't go and do anything sensible before it, and there won't be much time to do anything after it. So that's just annoying. I didn't have much choice. It was just like when they were there. Where is it? So I'm just looking at maps, trying to work out where else I need to be today. Is it here? Yeah, it's there. It is. That's very weird. Google Maps suggests I've searched for the immigration office. Seems a little random. Great, I've totally forgotten where I'm supposed to be going. Is it that? I'm still fairly new to where I live, you see, so I'm still, to a great degree, struggling to understand where things are relative to other places. Because he's new here. Now, can I save that as a... I might be able to do it. I want to sort of save something as a... Here's a place, Google, that I kind of care about, and I might want to do other things with. I can save it to my favourites. Does that mean it will always appear? Yes, a little heart. Brilliant. Oh, the heart's gone. Less brilliant. That's completely useless. Why is Google Maps so rubbish? Like, I just put a little heart down. Oh, the little heart's back. Oh, unless I zoom in or out. Great. Yeah, the problem is, well, it's 20 minutes each way. It's the problem. If I go there, I'll get there at like 1. And then I have to head back here for... Oh, I don't know. Let's see if I can fix this. And make a bill. And then I'll see how I feel. Okay, so this thing has a ray scaler, but this one does not scale upwards, I think. It might be because I previously moved objects around base to their things. Okay, so now if I make a wall, yeah, See, that's working because that's not, so what's happened is I put in some extra code to do some extra stuff, and that's cool. But now I'm sort of working back a bit. Like I'm disabling some of the code under some circumstances, and hopefully it works. Hopefully this is good enough. I'm not doing. I suspect, let's say, Space Engineers has a much better and much more complicated base building system than I do. I'm just, not planning on using those. Okay, so if I hide that and do that, and then that, and then we go into the actual level. And this is completely the wrong level, so good job me. But yeah, I'm very keen to get on with the Mixer game. I really am. I really like it. It just makes me grin in a lot of ways, and the fact that we can do, say, literally real-time patches is just totally amazing. And I'm just really keen to get on with that. Not that I'm not keen with this, but this game isn't going to be cool or fun in any way, shape, or form for months. It's just kind of nice to be in, which is, I guess, a not bad goal. Let me get rid of those magenta lines as well. It'll be in the spawn area. Okay, and the red ones. Surely have a comment. Why is this? And then we ran out of the nice area into where yeah. Let's fix that too. Oops. Yes, I keep feeling I should investigate a clever. I did say that on code. Like a clever culling system that assumes that trees are viz blockers, but you can chop down all the trees in the entire everything. So. I just need to do some work on my car. Life is too complicated. There's not enough time. What? Where's the floor? So what's going on there? Right, those are floors, not ceilings, and there is a slight difference to the way the collision is done. Base, floor, wall, slope, and I have totally doped. mouse cursor. Cute. So I think, I mean, to be fair, I haven't checked, but I should be able to chop down all these trees. Nope, this is nothing to FortressCraft 2. Chad, why would you think that? Does this channel say FortressCraft 2 anywhere? Where did you read that? If it does say that, I need to edit it so it doesn't. Do you think FortressCraft 2 might have been set in the American Northwest? But yeah, this is not FortressCraft 2 will not look anything like this. This is not. This is FortressCraft is a Friday thing. Today is not Friday. The only difference between a roof and a floor is if you build a floor in the air, it's quite. So floors will probably have like little ladders like that. They just don't currently. Actually, there might not be any alignments on the outside of the walls. Oh, good. Yeah. So this is nothing to do with FortressCraft 2 whatsoever. That is totally separate project, separate everything. But that's pretty good. I mean, what I've got there, that's to a degree, that's good enough. Can I build walls on top of walls, I guess is the next question. Why do I keep getting knocked off here by something? No is the... So that needs to have... See, that possibly needs to have a ray catcher there. It's beginning to get to the point where I might throw all this away and start again and just say... Oh, no, because walls... The problem is that within a given block, a given square, you can have up to 4 walls and a ceiling and a floor. So I can't even say what is here. So there's a possibility I may go away and just play with some Lego and try and work out if there's a set of rules, but it's mostly working. It's not entirely working, but as I said, I've played No Man's Sky a lot, and that suffered from all the same sort of issues, really. Sometimes you just couldn't find where to put stuff, sometimes you could. And you're kind of wiggling the cursor around going, well, why won't you work out where to put it? So, I mean, this is pretty much the same level of slightly clunky, slightly annoying. But we are getting occasional alignment issues. So if I carry the wall for a minute. But there, see, that needs to have a don't fire up. Might be able to... Can I do it from the outside? Possibly. A lot of it just depends where the ray hits. Whether or not it can find something to lock onto. As I said, I scheduled myself a month for this. But what I might do is go back to the drawing board a bit and rework out some of the logic behind it, because there's only a number of snap points. Certain objects can't snap onto other objects, but you get the issue that might be able to show you. You get the issue that with all the snap points and stuff that you got this situation here. Let's hide the wings collider. You got the issue that you've got the ceiling, and then you've got a wall and then another wall underneath it, and then inside that is the floor panel, because that's where it goes. Now the reason the floor panel has to go inside, or ceiling panel, is if you don't have this up here, you can't have this lining up with that, because then you've got it. Well, maybe you could. Maybe that's part of where I should go. But the basic idea is correct. Might even be worth just not quite signing it off, but just saying, yep, that's where we are. That's good enough for now, and then focus on the next area, and see if this just turns out to be far too annoying to use, or if it's fine. And that's the other thing, it's sometimes very, very, very difficult to work out what is what is annoying and what's not. You'd think it'd be obvious, but it's sometimes really not. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to call it there. Gonna head into town, do chores, and then come back from my optician's appointment. And then I might come back and do streaming, or I might come back and do work and not stream. I don't know. Depends how I feel. How do you feel, Kitty? He's giving me a look. And tomorrow I will try and ship PacketStorm. That'll be my my goal there, I think. So hopefully Todd is done. So PacketStorm is now on the store, and we're kind of ready to go. But the only thing I need to do on this is a couple of things, which is to set these up for 12 F11. Yeah, the problem with the grid-based system that I was talking about is that it breaks the moment you've got slopes in, because slopes don't fit within a grid square. But I can, I hope, make a build and upload the build. Oh, excuse me. Just a reminder, FortressCraft 2 will be Fridays. And this week I will be working on patch 25 FortressCraft 1, and then I will be doing more more of the first 5 minutes of the game. So I'm just going to push that up on the internet. And then I'm going to meander into town. Annoyingly, there was a subway between here and where I was going to go, and it's gone. And that annoys me. I like Subway. I don't care what you think. So, scanning the content, let's do a commit. There's also this thing about when you're working, it's just the kind of... It's this part, making sure I've committed everything, making the build live. So, we had a thing when I worked at Codemasters. We were scheduled time, and I had to point out to my lead programmer that it takes nearly a day to do a check-in on a large project, because you need to get latest on everything, which takes a bunch of time. You then need to merge all your changes, which takes a bunch of time. You then need to... Why are my favourites not here? How do I go to my favourites? Maybe it's one of these things up here. Yeah, how do I... That'd be too obvious, wouldn't it? Add shortcut to... okay, let me grab that URL. And then you need to merge all those changes with all the platforms. You need to check all the platforms. And if it doesn't work, you need to fix it. And I point out, like, if you're really lucky, that's half a day. And if you're unlucky, it's not a lot longer than a day. What a terrible logo. Yay! See, here are all my games. This is taking a long time to upload. Come on, faster. Okay, that should be uploaded. So, cool. Right, so that's done. Okay, so I am going to head out. And yeah, I'll be doing PacketStorm tomorrow. And once that's done, I'll be doing more of this. Like, that won't be a whole day, not unless something goes really, really, really wrong. But it should be quite straightforward, and we'll go through the process of submitting a game to Valve and making sure that it's ready, and we go to the store page and all those things. So I'll see you tomorrow, or possibly later. You never know. And thanks for watching. Cepheus also says goodbye, but he also says fuck you, which is why he's sleeping in the wrong place. Clever puss. Clever pussy pants. Anyway, see you tomorrow, guys.